Though the past 2.5 years have been filled with grief and pain for the family of Charles Byers,
There's just this hole. We have this setup with the Christmas stockings. There's only 4. There used to be 5. And that hurts my heart.
they're finding a glimmer of hope in new state legislation that's just been proposed aimed at preventing what happened to their son from happening again.
That gives me some solace. That gives me some hope.
As we've reported, Byers was shot and killed by a Chesterfield police officer in July of 2023. They had received a call for a breaking and entering and then found Byers carrying a hatchet. The officer's actions are still being contested in civil court.
Last seen wearing black t-shirt, black shorts, and barefoot.
Now, Byers was under an active temporary detention order, or TDO, at the time of his death, meaning he should have been held in a psychiatric facility for mental health treatment.
Stop resisting! I'll tase you! I've had enough! Put your hands behind your back! Do it now!
But instead, he was arrested at Chippenham Hospital's Tucker Pavilion after kicking a nurse, and he was removed without ever being seen by a psychiatrist.
No, it's a problem for you.
Health inspectors found that the hospital failed to communicate Byers' dire mental health needs and TDO status to that arresting officer.
You're probably going to jail.
Byers, facing an assault charge, then went before a Richmond magistrate for a bail proceeding, in which the TDO was again never mentioned. Despite a Richmond magistrate initially authorizing Byers' TDO, they released him back into the community.
It doesn't make sense to me that there was no communication even in the magistrate's office.
This family was not aware that he had been arrested, he was not in the hospital, and that he had been released into the city.
We first talked to Delegate Deborah Garner, a Democrat representing Chesterfield, about this case in 2024. At the time, she believed Byers' death was the result of systemic failures and vowed to take action.
It's because, as I said before, this was kind of a perfect storm of everything that went wrong.
Now, in the 2026 General Assembly session, she's carrying a bill that would require judicial officers, before conducting a bail hearing, to obtain information about whether that person is subject to a TDO or emergency custody order, and then factor that information into their determination.
Nothing else, it would throw up a red flag that's saying, hey, maybe we need to look further into where this man came from, where his family is, how can we assist him.
Peggy Byers believes had a law like this existed in 2023, it could have saved her son's life.
He'd be alive today.
Anything that allows for better communication and handling of these types of situations, I think will be wonderful. So, another family won't go through the kind of tragedy that, that we've gone through.
The family says they appreciate the time and research that Garner has put into this bill, and they believe it's a measure that Charles Byers would wholly support.
He had such a strong sense of justice and fairness. I think he would be happy that people who suffer the way he did with mental illness are being accounted for.
I'm Tyler Lane for CBS 6 News.